बटन साइकिल पे दबाया होगा, वोट बीजेपी को चला गया होगा।
उत्तर प्रदेश में वोटिंग मशीन के संबंध में ये चर्चा आम रही है कि बटन कोई भी दबाया जाए, वोट बीजेपी के कमल पर ही जाएगा।
After 2 decades of experiments, India opted for the electronic voting machines over paper ballots. In the 2004 Lok Sabha elections, over 1 million EVMs were used in India's 543 constituencies. But with the EVMs came allegations of tampering, which have only become louder and more persistent recently. Political parties and advocacy groups insist that the EVMs are not foolproof, a claim that's been consistently refuted by the Election Commission of India.
This is very unfortunate. My simple question is that if the result is X, EVM is right. If the result turns out to be Y, the EVM is faulted.
In 1982, EVMs were first introduced in a by-election in Kerala, and the communists criticized it. After the results were declared, however, it was the Congress who cried foul. In 2004 and 2009, Congress won the general elections, never once complaining about the integrity of EVMs. But of late, plenty has been said about the credibility of EVMs by Congress leaders.
मुद्दा किसी राजनीतिक दल से जुड़ा हुआ नहीं है, मुद्दा फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शंस का है। मुद्दा है कि क्या ईवीएम का दुरुपयोग हो सकता है, और अगर हो सकता है तो हुआ है या नहीं।
And it's not just one party. Virtually every political party has spoken of EVM tampering at some point, depending on whether they have won or lost the election in question. In 2009, after the BJP's defeat in the general elections, senior leader GVL Narasimha Rao wrote a book called Democracy at Risk, Can We Trust Our Electronic Voting Machines? In 2013, the Supreme Court asked the Election Commission to introduce the Voter Verifiable Paper Audit Trail or VVPAT in EVMs in a phased manner from the 2014 Lok Sabha elections to let voters physically verify their vote. In 2017, the Aam Aadmi Party gave what it claimed was a demonstration on how EVMs could be hacked, saying the machines were being tampered with on a massive scale to help the BJP.
तो आइए हम मिलके एक बार देखें कि कैसे हम और हमारे कैंडिडेट्स इस लोकतंत्र में कुछ सालों से मूर्ख बनते आ रहे हैं।
This year, self-proclaimed cyber expert Saeed Shuja claimed that the 2014 elections were rigged in favor of the BJP.
The Election Commission is mulling legal action against Saeed Shuja, self-proclaimed cyber expert who claims that the 2014 Lok Sabha elections were rigged.
For wired or wireless hacking, the most important thing is physical accessibility, as I said. In India, the EVMs are kept under tight security and operated under strict physical and video surveillance. So wired hacking would entail, in fact, getting specially designed microprocessors and physically connecting them to the EVM control unit. Now, in order to hack around 1.7 million EVMs, which is a huge number, you need a lot of time and a number of external microprocessors.
Number 1. Paper trumps electronics. Critics of electronic voting have often drawn comparisons with Germany and Ireland, pointing out how both nations scrapped electronic voting in favor of paper ballots. They suggest India go back to paper ballots too. Number 2. VVPAT. Described by the Supreme Court in 2013 as an indispensable requirement of free and fair elections. The VVPAT, which is attached to the EVM, consists of a printer and a display unit.
मतदान के दौरान जब मतदाता अपना वोट देता है तो वीवीपैट 7 सेकंड तक एक पेपर स्लिप को डिस्प्ले करती है। वोटर ये पुष्टि कर सकता है कि उसने जिस उम्मीदवार को मत दिया, मत उसी के नाम पर पड़ा। 7 सेकंड के बाद स्लिप कट कर अपने आप वीवीपैट ड्रॉप बॉक्स में गिर जाती है।
VVPATs were introduced in 8 constituencies as a pilot project in the 2014 general elections. In the coming Lok Sabha polls, they will be used in all constituencies. Despite the enduring complaints, there is no concrete evidence that EVMs can be rigged on a mass scale to change the result of an election.
Now, for large-scale wireless hacking, which appears to be easier in principle, we need a transceiver circuit and an antenna for each of these EVMs. are secretly implanting such devices in huge numbers without the knowledge of the Election Commission, the administration, and the existing government would be almost impossible. Today, technology has advanced, so ballot papers can be easily duplicated using computers and printers, and the actual ballot papers can be replaced. But the control unit of an EVM, it cannot be replaced by using some off-the-shelf components. Only some select people who have got the expertise can do that, and even as EVMs are not connected together, and so achieving such thing at a large scale is not possible.
The Election Commission has repeatedly clarified doubts and openly challenged critics to demonstrate the hacking of an EVM. Chief Election Commissioner Sunil Arora recently condemned the motivated slugfest over EVMs and said that while the Election Commission would always be open to criticism and feedback, it would not be intimidated, bullied, pressured or coerced into giving up EVMs and returning to paper ballots.
We are not going back to the era of ballot papers.
Now, whether this has any effect on the critics of the EVM remains to be seen.